Anderson's model, 3 stages. Now let us look at more closely at Anderson's active control thought model and the stages that he talks about. So the basic assumption underneath this model is that learning is always a move from declarative knowledge to procedural knowledge. And this move takes place in certain steps. So let me remind you over here that by declarative knowledge, we mean the knowledge of the rules. And by procedural knowledge, we mean knowledge of how to apply the rules that have been learned. So declarative knowledge, for instance, if you take the example of learning how to drive a car or how to ride a bike, would be knowing about where different gears are and how to apply them. And proceduralized knowledge will be when you have commanded the whole nature of how to apply them and when, without actually thinking about it. So what are the different stages? The first stage, Anderson says, is the cognitive stage. So this is the stage when a description of the procedure is learned. So when you find your students actually learning rules of a language, that is the cognitive stage. And that is the stage that we as teachers know quite well in our classrooms when we present certain grammatical structures to our children to learn. The second stage is the associative stage. This is the stage at which the child or the adult also, when he or she has learnt the rule of a language, now tries to apply the rule to the use of the language. So this may be in formal circumstances and this may be in informal settings outside the classrooms. In any case, it is an associative stage. This is the stage when the child or the adult himself is trying to apply the rule to produce second language structures. The third stage, Anderson argues, is the autonomous stage. The autonomous stage is the stage when the rules of the language have been learned so well that when the child or the adult is applying the rules, they don't even think about the rule that is there. For instance, now that you know Urdu language, you hardly even think of the rules underlying changing a singular noun into plural noun. You do it so automatically in your real life without even thinking about it. And this is exactly the stage that Anderson is calling the automatized stage, or this is also the stage when the declarative knowledge has changed into procedural knowledge. So these 3 stages underscore the point that all learning is a staged process. Second language learning also takes place in stages. So different aspects of second language learning are learned in stages. And this is when the declarative knowledge is changed into procedural knowledge, and it is moved from the working memory into the long-term memory. It is then that we say that the learning has taken place. There are a few things that happen once the language or once the knowledge or the language or a skill has been proceduralized. So by proceduralizing, we mean has been automatized or has achieved the third stage in the learning. The first thing that happens is that there is no pressure on the working memory anymore. So you are not consciously thinking about the rules, and this vacates the working memory for the learning of the new skills. Second is whatever task you have learned or whatever skill you have learned or the language aspect you have learned, it becomes very quick and it is efficient. Then it is important to remember that once it has been moved into proceduralized knowledge or into the long-term memory, then it is not easily modified. And this is where we face the problem of fossilization. And when, no matter what you do, if the child has learned or the specific structure of a language, he or she will keep on making mistakes. And then the child, once some aspect of learning the second language has been proceduralized, the child will use the same knowledge to apply to similar situations. So these are the three stages put forth by Anderson.